All right, let's go. Let's move on here. Simple possession of drug paraphernalia. Where was that at? Paris. Oh yeah. So, all right. Me and my buddy, we'll go call him JC. I'm banging this real skank nasty skank bango skank bitch up in Dresden, okay? I'm desperate. It's the only reason I'm there. She's giving me $100 bills, hands full of hydros, putting gas in my car, bought a phone, put minutes on it, gave it to me. So I'm like, I'm obligated to fuck this bitch. She was real ugly in the face. She had a smoking hot body. We got a motel room. I turned her around. I ate the hydros. I turned the lights off and I did her from behind where I couldn't look at her. And she also sucked the fuck. Woo! We ain't gonna talk about that. That was a little amphetamina was involved in that one. But she could, but I couldn't look at her face when she's doing it, or I was like, not, and that's pretty fucked up. Anyway, she's a skanky fucking, she's a monstrous bitch. If you're ugly on the outside, I'll give you a chance. If I find out you're ugly on the inside and the outside, I gotta get the fuck away from you. And if you try to fuck over my homies that I love, then fuck you. So, okay, my buddy comes in. He's got a Social Security check. Got a crazy check. He's a nutcase. He shows up. Hey, what day was it? I bet it's around the first of the month, probably. But he is a hustler, so let's see. Oh, look. 7/4, the day after. Big payday. I knew it. Okay, so he walks in. He's got $600. She gives him the line of shit. He said, hey, Kevin, where can I find some weed at? A big chunk of weed. So I said, I don't know, man. I'm a stranger in town. I told him where I was. And the phone that she bought me, I had called him and told him where I was. He came over and we got together. And we were hanging out at her house. And he gave her she said, I can find you all the weed you need. So he hands her $600 and says, get as much weed as you can. And she says, okay. So she leaves. She's gone for like 3 hours. We're chilling, we're hanging out. I got a little reefer with smoke, drink a couple beers. Wasn't really drinking a lot. He's not a big drinker. So we smoked a little weed, and then she says, so we call her. Hey, where the fuck you at? What the fuck's the deal? Go to the Paris liquor store. She gave us a fucking, she's steadily lying. She said, I'm at the dope house, and I have and I'm getting pounds for $200. So I still got some of your money, and I got a pound. And she says she's waiting in the waiting room of the dope house, and there's other people there waiting to get weed, and they're willing to pay $300. So my homie, he gets a fucking revelation. He says, turn around and sell them the weed for $300. Go back and get 3 more fucking pounds and bring it back, right? Or however many. I gotta sit down and think about shit like that. But he just popped in his head. And so she gives us a line of shit that she's going back in to get more. So we had it figured out. She's got 10 pounds of dope somewhere. We gotta go follow her. Please come to the liquor store to follow me. What she was doing was she was getting us out of the house where she could go back to the house and do whatever, all right? You dig? We were being played like Beethoven played the fucking piano by a true master, this fucking whore. For long, it does, and then later that night, it's dark and we're in Paris. It's the 4th of July, 7/4, how about that? Yeah, I remember now. 7/4/2011. I'm wearing overalls, ain't got no shirt on. I got long greasy hair. My homie, he's like dressed in black, some greasy fucking heavy metal shit. He's got greasy hair. We look like 2 white Rastafarians. We don't smell much better. Probably both got leftover fog on our necks from banging the skankiest, from being the like project bouncer and bits. It was pretty wild that week. Anyway, so then I say, man, let's ride over the bridge and look at the fireworks, because there were thousands of people there. So on our way there, it wasn't dark yet. So I'm riding through Paris. I turn, a cop hits the blue lights. How could you not? If you'd have seen what we was driving, what we looked like, there was no way you couldn't fucking hit the blue lights. This motherfucker was obligated by his shit. He had to stop us, even if we done nothing wrong or not. If I was a cop, I would have fucking zeroed in on us from a mile a fucking way. We were supposed to pick up some dope. And we were like, off the grid, and then this bitch gave us a fucking impossible laundry list of bullshit that never was meant to happen. She was probably glad. Anyway, I was going to kill that bitch. Anyway, the story ain't over. So they stop us, and I say, I'm not letting you search the car. I got overalls on, and there's pockets here. I got a sack of weed. I don't know, it's like a 20 sack or a dime sack. And I got papers over here. I know the papers. My buddy's got the papers. And that's the weed we got. And so I had a roach that I smoked that I left in the ashtray all night. And I was in an Oldsmobile. And like a real shitty Oldsmobile, like trash. The Gray Rider is what I call it from. I bought it from Shaw Coleman I bought it from Shaw for $275. And he was like, get this shit out of my yard. I'm like, here, motherfucker, I'm out of here. And anyway, I got it plated and shit. So then we're there. We're in Paris, which is an hour away, Henry County, Tennessee. And so the cop's walking around. The cop says, come over here and sit down. So they sit us down. And then they bring in I told them they can't search the car. Now, a lot of people don't know it, but if you tell them they can't search the car, the only way they can search the car is if they visibly see something like a smoking pistol laying in the goddamn seat, a sack of dope laying in your lap, or if there's nothing they can put their finger on. And let's go back a little bit. Right before this, the same day, we stopped to visit a friend of ours. We're going to call this guy Tyrone, okay? Well, Tyrone's got a 13-year-old Goldschlager bong, okay? And this bong, it had been around for a long time. I remember when he made it. And it had every fucking thing known to man smoked through it. It had meth, crack, coke, opium, all kind of shit smoked through it. It was a Goldschlager bottle, and it was awesome. And if you hit the car, all I smoked through it was weed. Anyway, he said, it's 13 years old. It's got a curse on it. It's 13 years. I want you to get rid of it for me. Get rid of it. Throw it away. And I said, okay, I'll throw it away for you. And I popped the trunk. And if you pop the trunk, I had all my dirty clothes in the back of the trunk. I'm like living in the car. I'm like eating out of cans, living in the car, taking my liberties with the ladies wherever I could come across them. Hence the ugly bitch that was throwing me money. All right. And hydros. That's what got me. The hydros got me. So I threw the motherfucker in there, covered it up with clothes, and said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's roll. I'll throw it away later, man. I might take it home, check it out. But I never went home. They never stay home, and they're always alone. And even with someone they love. So, back to the thing. In the state of Tennessee, they can't, just search you. They can, and if it can pull you out the car, there's something called a Terry search that they can do, and that means pat you down. And when they say, do you have any sharp knives, guns, needles in your pockets? And they say, do you mind if I check? When you do that, you're giving them consent to search. And if you do give them consent to search, you can take it back at any time. So remember that. Now, if it escalates beyond taking it back, then you're just fucked. But other than that, if they don't see probable cause, real evidence laying out, they can't search unless they have the loophole here. A canine, which was a obese German Shepherd bitch dog, I think it's what it was, I can't remember. If it hits on the car. I got weed in my pocket. So I'm standing far, I'm social distancing with this motherfucking dog over there, boy. He brings it, he's like, I'm calling in the dog. And if the dog hits, then they can search. So I'm staying far back. He's got us sitting down. He grabs my homie's phone and starts going through it. My homie's like, "You can't fucking go through my phone. Give me my damn phone." JC really went off on it. JC's really he's also aware of his rights, but it took years of having them violated by the lower courts. I call it the collection agency before you ever get to anything real, okay? And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there. It helps the other courts get stay unclogged, you know? And it helps shit move along, and you know, people line their pockets for money, and if you want something to go away and you pull out all the cash, it goes away. I like that. I think that's good. But some motherfuckers, but I mean, it's not right. The system is twisted and corrupt. So I'm not saying this system's the one here is right now. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is, but I mean, it is the way it is. So.